Hey there, welcome to Craft Central Designs. I have some very cute, very easy, budget-friendly, handmade Christmas ornaments for you today. I hope you love creating Christmas ornaments like I do. I love the idea of filling a Christmas tree with handmade ornaments. If you do as well, stick with me. I am full of ideas. Welcome to all to my channel today, and please remember to subscribe if you are not currently. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content, and leave me your comments and tell me which ornament is your favorite. Okay, let me show you how I created these 3 ornaments. The first ornament we're going to do today is a musical theme or a musical note theme. I think this would be great if you have music lovers or someone in your family that plays an instrument. It's just a nice way to honor that person by putting an ornament on the tree that relates to them. Or great for a gift if you know someone that plays an instrument or is a musician or whatever. I think it's a great idea, and I love this ornament. Okay, so there are 2 different types of wood ornaments that you could purchase at Hobby Lobby to create ornaments on a wood piece. I just showed you 2 of them. One is a little bit thicker, one is a little bit thinner. Both of them very inexpensive, around $1.25, $1.50 for a pack. There's 6 in the thinner wood piece ornaments and 4 in the thicker. I have here a piece of scrapbook paper with gold musical notes. This is going to be Mod Podged onto one of these wood ornaments. Now, for this particular ornament, I'm going to use this wood ornament that I purchased in a pack, as I mentioned, at Hobby Lobby. These are the thinner ones. Now, I have these wood cutout musical notes. I had purchased these a couple of years ago, and I'm sure I got them on Amazon. If you type in a search for wood cutout musical notes for crafting, I'm sure you will be able to find them on Amazon. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. So I chose a couple of different notes and also a treble clef. So I'm going to be creating an ornament using those little wood cutouts. And it's going to be in a gold theme, obviously, because the scrapbook paper has the gold musical notes. I'm going to be using Mod Podge on this project to adhere the scrapbook paper and also to help me with the glittering process. So I have some gold ribbons here. I have several different ones. I'll show you what I ended up using. But I am going to be making a little bow for the top of this ornament. And it's going to coordinate with this scrapbook paper. So that scrapbook paper I got at Hobby Lobby. It's in the single scrapbook paper sheet section. And I always wait to get my scrapbook paper on the week that it's 40% off. I also have there a fine gold glitter. So I'm going to begin preparing my ornament by cutting off the ribbon. I'm not going to be using that ribbon to hang the ornament because I'm going to be putting another gold ribbon on this ornament. Now this ornament is going to be covered on both sides, and I want to be certain that you have the scrapbook paper going the correct direction if you use this musical note scrapbook paper. You don't want your musical notes upside down on your ornament. We can't have that. Okay, so go ahead and trace around the ornament with a pencil on the back side, and take a pair of scissors and just cut those two out. Now, on the front of this ornament, you're going to see there's a little area where the cap, if you will, of the ornament extends down into the circular part of the ornament. So what I do is I just take my nail and I just press in around that so that I can cut out that little section there so that paper will fit correctly on the ornament. I just create a little indentation there with my nail, and now I'm just going to trim that out. Doesn't have to be perfect, because at the top of this ornament there's going to be a little bow. So I'm going to be placing that scrapbook paper on there again with Mod Podge on the front and in the back. Now this is a nice heavyweight scrapbook paper. There won't be any risk of rippling or bubbles. So I do put my Mod Podge in a squirt bottle. I find it so much more convenient that way. So I'm going to take a sponge applicator and just cover that front of that wood circle or that ornament with a good solid layer of Mod Podge. Now, I do get my sponge applicators at Dollar Tree, and I realized that after years of throwing those away, after every application, every time I use them, I realized I could just rinse them out, and I won't be buying sponge applicators every other week. So I do rinse mine out now. Occasionally, I'll throw them in the trash if I forget them and they dry out. But, you can rinse those out with water if you have Mod Podge on them. So probably if you use paint as well. I never paint with them, but okay. So anyway, back to the ornament. I have the front covered, and I'm going to cover the back as well. Now, if you use a zip sander or a piece of sandpaper or a sanding block, whatever, I would wait until you do the front side before you put the back of the scrapbook paper on the back side, just so that it's easier that way. Or you could simply just use scissors to trim up any excess that is over lying the ornament on the edges. Okay, so now my idea for this ornament was to create kind of like musical charms, if that makes sense. I'm not gluing these to the front of my ornament. I am going to be placing them on the ornament on thin ribbons so that they kind of dangle or hang down like charms. I don't know. Notice me. The idea just came to me, and I'm following it through, and I love the way it turned out. So I decided which 3 of the musical notes I was going to use. Well, actually, I used a treble clef and 2 musical notes. I had there some metallic gold acrylic paint, and I'm just going to paint the fronts of those musical notes, as well as the ornament cap on the front, the back, sides, and the top. Now, I don't paint the wood, the sides of the wood ornament. I didn't really feel it's necessary. The wood is thin, and I just didn't think it was necessary to do that. Okay, so everything is all painted. Now I am going to glitter the cap and the treble clef and the 2 musical notes. I'm going to take my little sponge applicator. I put a little dab of Mod Podge right on my sponge applicator, and I'm going to cover the front, the back, the top, and the sides of the cap. And I'm going to glitter up that cap with a fine gold glitter. I do that over a paper towel so that I could take the excess, just fold up my paper towel, and dump it right back into the jar. During Christmas time, I do use a lot of glitter, so I try not to waste my glitter. And next I'm going to do as well the treble clef and the 2 musical notes. So they'll be very pretty and glittery. Now this turns out so pretty. I think on a Christmas tree, this ornament will look so pretty with the Christmas lights shimmering, those little musical notes and the treble clef and the scrapbook paper. It's a metallic gold. It's very, very pretty. And I think that's going to look very pretty with the Christmas lights shining on those glittery pieces. So now I'm going about glittering up my musical notes and my treble clef. Look how pretty that is. Now after those are all dry, I will go about placing them on the ornament. They're all dry, and I took a very narrow, extremely narrow gold ribbon. And I put a piece, I'm showing you there, and I put a little piece of that ribbon and I glued it to the back of the treble clef and the 2 musical notes. Now what I'm going to do is attach these to the cap, but I want to place them at different levels so they'll be sure to be seen. So I used the 3, like I mentioned, the 2 musical notes and the treble clef, and I placed them at different levels on the piece. And I did that by placing the ribbons right where I wanted them on the cap. And I'm going to just glue those down. I believe I used hot glue. See how I place them at different levels? Now that's the way I want them to look on the piece. So I just hot glued those down. Now I have a gold little bow that I created there. And I was going to use a white one. And then after I started creating that little bow, I said, no. So I change my mind often when I'm doing projects, and I usually have a basic plan whenever I begin creating a project, but it's typical of me to have a change of mind while I am following through with the project. So this was one of those, but I happened to remember that I had purchased this really beautiful cream-colored, very narrow ribbon with little gold dots in the sewing department ribbons at Hobby Lobby. So I have that little white bow there, but I didn't end up using it, but I'll put it aside and probably use it for something else. But that's one of my little figure 8 fold-over bows. And here's that ribbon. It's from the sewing department. I'm planning to do a Christmas ornament, an angel, and that's what I purchased this ribbon for. But then I remembered, oh boy, that would look so great on this ornament with the musical notes. So I'm going to just create a little figure 8 bow, actually 2 figure 8s. And I'm going to place that on top of that gold bow. And this is going to create a very nice little bow for the top of this ornament. And it's going to match very beautifully with the gold. So these are just little figure 8 bows you can see that I'm making here. And this is very intricate because this ribbon is extremely narrow. So it's kind of easy to fumble while you're creating a little figure eight bow, which I think you're going to see me doing here right now, but I'll get it together sooner or later here. I'm going to just take a little piece of wire, which is going to help me. I don't want to use a pipe cleaner here. That's too bulky. Or maybe, no, you know what I did here? I decided to tie a little piece of that narrow ribbon around. That's what I did. And I had to really use my finger dexterity there to tie that with virtually one hand around the back. And I'm just going to tie that little bow, there we go, closed with that little piece of ribbon. I could have used a little piece of wire, but I think it wasn't handy at the moment. So I'm going to get that all in shape there, and I'm going to attach that to the other gold bow there that you see on the table. Let's snip off the excess there. And like I said, this ribbon is just perfect for this ornament. Now you could do this ornament also in other colors. There is a scrapbook paper that has kind of a cream colored background with musical notes that are more black. So you could really go with any color. You could use that scrapbook paper and then, go with red or gold or silver or whatever you like. I just chose gold for this one because I really, really love the gold musical notes on that scrapbook paper. All right, so I have the bow together now. And look how pretty that is. So perfect. I took a little piece of that ribbon, wrapped it around both of the bows, and glued it in the back. So now I have a very nice little finished center for that little bow. That was difficult to make, but oh so pretty in the end. So I have lots of patience. So yeah, I don't care how difficult it is. If I'm determined to do it, I'm going to do it. Okay, so I'm going to take a little piece of that gold narrow ribbon, and I'm going to create a hanger for this ornament. I'm going to just tie a little knot at the top, and I can either hang it and leave the knot at the top, or I could pull it down and conceal it in the back of that ornament. It's up to you, however you like yours. And next I'm just going to put my little bow on there right at the base of the cap. And I have my little dangling treble clef and musical notes. And it looks like charms, just the way I imagined it. Such a cute, really cute ornament. I love this one. It's very unique. I love handmade ornaments on a Christmas tree. And I also love the idea of giving handmade ornaments as gifts for friends and relatives. Because each year when that ornament is taken out to decorate that person's tree, they're going to think of you. And they think of me, and I love the idea of that. Now, this type of ornament, yes, it has a bow. It's not going to be able to be tossed around inside of an ornament box. I would wrap it in tissue paper. Some ornaments just deserve that extra little care. Okay, now here are those other thicker ornaments. There's 4 in a package. Again, I believe How much were those? Now I don't remember, but I just remember it comes out. Oh, let's see if I can read it on the tag. I think they're like $1.25 or $1.50 a bag because they're 50% off. Okay, now here's another piece that I'm going to be using from Hobby Lobby. And it says, it has some lettering on there. A very merry, holly jolly Christmas. And laser cut letters. It's very pretty. And I'm going to be placing that on top of this ornament. And you could just do this in any color combination. Now, you could also put it on the thinner ornament. The star, however, is going to encroach right on the area of the circular opening for the hanger. But you could do it. You could do it on that piece. Even if the laser lettering was hung off the bottom a little bit, out the outside edge a little bit, that still would look fine. Okay, so now we're going to take that ornament. Now I'm going to do this one in traditional Christmas colors. And I am going to use scrapbook paper again. Now I'm just showing you here, if you're not familiar with scrapbook paper, you could purchase these scrapbook papers in booklets. And again, all that is 50% off at Hobby Lobby. And they come in different themes. Like that one is a lot of plaids. The other one is like vintage country rustic. This one is more like the traditional Christmas basics, as it says on there. Candy canes and ho 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 and Santa heads, things like that. So they come basically in different types of themes. But I just love Christmas scrapbook paper, and I think I have a booklet of just about every type of theme of Christmas scrapbook paper, because you could just do so much with them. Now I have here some Christmas beads. I'm going to be using those to create a hanger. I want to say I got those on Amazon a couple of years ago. I bought a big bag of them, and I'm still using them. So you're going to need Aleene's tacky glue, hot glue, of course, scissors, all the regular crafting tools, paintbrush, Mod Podge, and glitter. Now, I changed my mind a number of times doing this project. I thought, did you see how it just went dark there? My dog, my Labradoodle, she tends to perpetually walk by my craft table and disconnect my ring light. So that's what happened there. She does it on a very regular basis. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and paint the letters of this little laser cut piece. Now, I decided I'm going to do all of the lettering in red. And again, you do you. This piece would be pretty I think, in a gold with maybe some type of scrapbook paper, maybe a cream of vanilla colored scrapbook paper with gold polka dots, tiny ones. Ooh, I think that would be pretty. Okay, so I left this star and the little scrolly piece at the bottom. And I painted it white, but I ended up making that part at the bottom green glitter. You'll see me doing all this and making the changes as we go along. But think of all the options of this piece. You could just do so many combinations with this. Okay, so I took off the hanger. A little burlap hanger comes on these ornaments, and there's a little staple back there. Just use a little something to pry that off. Now I'm going to be covering both sides of this ornament with that scrapbook paper, which is little Santa heads. There's no direction on this scrapbook paper, so I'm just going to not have to worry about that. I'm just going to trace around that ornament with a pencil, which I can't seem to find at the moment. There it is. And just trace around that. And that little area where the cap is, after you take the ornament off, just draw in that area and then take your scissors and cut that out. Now, you could paint these ornaments. You certainly could do that. You could glitter them. There's just a world of options with these wood cutouts. And I always purchase these at Christmas, and I always come up with ideas how to create them in all different types of ways. And it's just limitless what you could do with these. All right, so sponge applicator, I cover the surface of that ornament, and I place down that Santa head scrapbook paper. Now, this is the thicker ornament. You could paint the sides of this ornament if you like, but if you're going to use a sanding block or a zip sander or a file or whatever to remove the excess of the scrapbook paper and clean up the edges, you're going to run the risk of damaging the paint that you placed on the edges of that ornament. So it's up to you if you want to do that, or your other option is just take a pair of scissors and trim it around. You don't necessarily have to do the sanding. You could just do it with scissors. So I didn't paint mine initially, and I did use the sanding block because this was a thinner, or the zip sander, I'm sorry, because this is a little bit of a lighter weight scrapbook paper. So when I have that, I usually use my zip sander. But I ended up painting the sides later. You'll see that here in a bit. So I decided that I wanted to add just little touches of glitter on this ornament. So I did it in different ways. And one way is I decided to take my little sponge applicator, put some Mod Podge on that little scrolly piece there at the bottom, and I'm just going to glitter that up. Now, I have some glitter from the Dollar Tree, and I love their little glitter containers that they come out with at Christmas time. It's a nice fine glitter, and I really love it. And this came in really handy. They usually come in like a 3-pack. You look for that in the Crafters Square section. So I'm just going to take my little, it has a nice little applicator, a little hole in the top. And you just tap the little container and just dispense all that little bits of glitter where you place the Mod Podge. And after you're done, because you did it on the paper towel, all you have to do is fold the paper towel, unscrew the lid of the glitter container, and you can salvage any of that excess glitter. I ended up taking my little star there at the top and just putting white glitter on that. I wavered so many times on whether I was going to make it silver or gold or white, but I ended up leaving it white. So, for the hole in the top of this ornament, it does not come with a hole to insert a hanger or whatever you're going to use for a hanger. So I took a very small Phillips head screwdriver, and I just screwdrivered, if that's a term, a hole right through the top of that ornament in the cap area. It's very easy to do that. I just kept turning my screwdriver until I got all the way through the cap, and then I have a little hole there. Now, if you have a drill with a very small drill bit, you could do that as well, but this was just as easy. So one other thing that I did that I don't know if I showed you here, but It was just a small thing that I did, but it was a little extra something, like I just love to do. But I took a little wood dowel that had a flat round end, and I dipped it in Mod Podge, and I put a dot of Mod Podge on all the little balls of the hats of my snowman heads, and then I just sprinkled white glitter over it. So that way I have like a little bit of shimmery balls on the hats of my snowman heads. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is create a hanger. So I cut off a piece of baker's twine, a red and white baker's twine, which you could pick up at the Dollar Tree as well. I folded it in half. It's about 18 inches long. I folded it in half. Now I'm taking a little piece of masking tape, and I'm going to tape the ends because I'm going to be feeding that through those little beads. So now I'm going to feed those through in the order that I want them. So I'm creating a little bead hanger. Like I really wanted lots of Christmas color on this ornament. So I chose a red and a green ornament and a couple of other ones that are striped. And I'm just going to feed those through that baker's twine. And then I tie a little knot at the top where you could just insert you could either hang it on the tree branch by the loop, or you could put an ornament through it. It's up to you. So now I have a very cute little hanger for my ornament. Now I'm going to take that and feed it through that little hole that I created on my ornament and secure that hanger onto my ornament. I pull it down until the beads touch the top of the cap. And then I'm just going to tie a little knot in the back. But see how all the colors are complementary to one another, all red, green, and white. So I just tie a little knot back there, and I just take a little dab of hot glue to secure that. And I am going to be touching up the back of that ornament, the cap there. I didn't, it's not white. When you purchase this ornament, it's not white on the back. And I glittered it, but it didn't quite cover. So I'm going to touch that up, put a little bit of white paint, and then re-glitter it with a white glitter. I like the back of my ornaments finished, although my ornaments have a front side, most certainly, but I like for all sides to be, finished. Okay, so now it's time to place on my little laser words. Now I made a very cute little bow. This is one of my favorite Christmas ribbons. Love this Christmas ribbon. It's from Hobby Lobby. It is polka dot on one side and striped on the other. This is in the Christmas department. I believe they also have it in the sewing department year-round, but it's in the Christmas department. I just wanted to put something very cute at the top of my ornament. So now what I'm going to do here is take some Aleene's Tacky Glue, and I'm just going to glue that piece right onto my ornament. And now that's ready to place right on the ornament. This piece turned out so cute. And I think this is going to look very cute on a Christmas tree. Now I'm going to take that little bow that I created. It's 2 loops on each side with a little loop down the center. I didn't show you how I made that, but those of you who follow my channel have seen me make 1,000 bows. but I don't believe that I filmed that. Okay, so you can see that I painted the sides red, and I'm very happy now that that's all finished on the side. Now I'm going to take that cute little bow, and I'm going to put a little dab of glue right in that little nook between the ornament cap and the top of the ornament, and I'm going to place that bow right inside of there, and that looks so, so cute. You could do a little figure 8 bow here as well, or however you make little bows. This was just a little afterthought. At the last moment, I said, oh, you know what I'm going to do? And so I placed that on there, and I made that cute little bow, and I love this ornament. All right, ornament number 3. Now, this is a very kind of traditional, sort of farmhousey, rustic, country-ish type of ornament. I love tartan plaid. I love traditional Christmas decorations. I'm going to be doing a traditional wreath very soon with a tartan plaid bow and pine cones, and oh my gosh, it's going to be so beautiful. I really love traditional Christmas decor, as well as all the whimsical, fun, other types of decor as well. Okay, I'm going to use one of those thinner ornaments for this piece. I'm going to use a pine cone, a little bit of greenery, and I'm going to use this plaid scrapbook paper. This came from one of the booklets that I showed you. And I'm doing the same thing that I did with all of the other ornaments. I'm going to cut that out, Mod Podge it right on to the ornament. Again, we have that little cap situation there, so just do a little indentation there so you know where to snip that out so that will fit well on the circle ornament. A layer of Mod Podge, and again, just place that beautiful tartan plaid scrapbook paper on there. The little baby pine cones, I got those in the Christmas department. They also have them in the fall decor department as well. I find those little baby pine cones are so handy to have. I use them all the time on different projects. This would look so pretty on a farmhouse tree or just any kind of a traditional tree. Really beautiful on any tree, actually. Okay, so use your zip sander. I would do it, the zip sander on the top before I place the Mod Podge and the scrapbook paper on the bottom or on the back side, just so you don't scrape up your scrapbook paper that you just placed on the top, if that makes sense. Okay, so I have some little bits of greenery. Now, what I didn't mention before is I'm going to be placing some of these Ray Dunn stick-on letters on this ornament, and I love to use the word joy at Christmas time. Now, I have had these forever. I love Ray Dunn lettering, and I'm pretty sure I got these on Amazon at some point in time. So I'm going to start with my O because that goes right down the center, and I'm going to place my letters on there accordingly. J-O-Y. This looks so pretty on this plaid scrapbook paper. Now, I don't feel the need to cover this with Mod Podge, but if you feel more comfortable that the letters will be secure, you can go ahead and put a layer of Mod Podge on there. I use these letters year after year after year, and they never come off of my Christmas ornaments. So, I mean, you do you. I put them on glass ornaments, on wood, on scrapbook paper. I just don't have any problem. Once I put them on, they're on. But if you'd like, go ahead and, put a layer of Mod Podge on there. It's up to you. So now I want just little bits of greenery to decorate the top of this ornament. And I'm going to be placing a little bow at the top of there. Firstly, I'm going to place a little bit of this twine that I picked up at not Hobby Lobby. I picked it up at Dollar Tree. So I just cut a nice long piece of that, tie a knot at the top, and I'm just going to have a simple jute twine hanger on this ornament. This is more of a rustic-y, farmhousey type of ornament, so I love the idea of the jute on there. I love the idea of the pine cone and the greenery. And I'm going to leave the cap just like it is with the wood finish. Now I'm going to take this ribbon. It's kind of like a little burlap ribbon. I had picked this up at Michael's at some point in time. And I'm just going to create a little two-loop bow. I love this ribbon. It's not wired, but it's so compliant. So I'm going to take a little piece of wire, wrap it around the center, twist it very tight in the back, and my pine cone is going to be placed right in the center of that bow, so I don't need to finish it off with any kind of center embellishment other than that pine cone. Now I'll trim those tails up in just a bit because I don't want them encroaching on the area of the wording of joy. Before I place that bow down, though, I'm going to be gluing down my greenery, but that's how it's going to look. It's going to look very pretty on there. So I actually have a couple of different types of greenery there. I'm just going to hot glue that right on to the cap or at the base of the cap. And as I mentioned, I have two different types. That's my little silicone makeup applicator that I pick up at the Dollar Tree. It helps to save my fingers, let's put it that way. Usually it's somewhere where out of reach, which is always my luck, just like my finger protectors, but I happen to have it handy for a change. So I'm going to place my greenery on the other side. Now, this is a very simple, very easy ornament, but I think it just looks so pretty on a Christmas tree. I've made quite a number of ornaments on these wood pieces. And like I said, it's just limitless what you can do with them. Okay, so I'm going to take my little bow, place it right over the top of the center where I placed my greenery, right over the cap. And I'm going to be taking care of those tails there because like I mentioned, I don't want them, those tails covering up the word joy. I'm going to hot glue that little pine cone right in the center there. And then I did one more little thing because as I was looking at the piece, I just felt the greenery needed a little something, a little bit of red. So I went to my all of my supplies, which are like bins upon bins upon bins, as you could probably imagine. And I found some red pit berries. And I'm going to be placing just a couple of pit berry strands. I'm going to curl them around something of the circumference of similar like a skewer from the kitchen, just something very, very thin to wrap those pit berries around. Now I'm going to trimming up my greenery a little bit. It's coming along beautifully. And you could see that little area there next to the bow really could use a little touch of color. So this is what I meant before. I wrap my pit berry wire around just something like a skewer or a very narrow dowel or something like that. And I just curl it, and I'm just going to insert that into my greenery, and that will give me my little touch of red that I feel that I need at the top of that piece. And then I'm just going to hot glue that right in, and this ornament will be done. Now I have more ornaments coming up next video. I'm going to be doing some character ornaments. Also coming up, I'm going to do, as I mentioned, a traditional Christmas wreath with faux evergreen and beautiful plaid ribbons and pine cones, and oh my gosh, it's going to be gorgeous. I'm going to be doing a Grinch wreath. I'm going to be doing a peppermint candy theme deco mesh wreath. I have so much planned for upcoming videos. Christmas is my favorite. Okay, so just going to use a little hot glue, poke those in, and I declare this ornament finished. I hope you're thinking what you would do with these wood ornaments. So much versatility and so much fun to do. Very easy as well. Very inexpensive and so pretty on a tree. And there you have it, ornament number 3. Okay. One last look at all 3 of the ornaments. Let me know which one is your favorite in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps my channel to grow. And as well, if you're not currently a subscriber, I hope you will consider becoming one so that you can see all the great videos I have upcoming. I'm so excited to share with you. Oh, until next time, you all take care.